Good morning everyone, and thank you for joining me for another Master Lock Style Tai Chi and Qigong class. Let's get started with right hand in fist please, left hand straight, pulling back the thumb, feet together, hands together, and we salute. Alright, let's open our stance. So we're just going to do a few wee moves in warm-up, feeding into the four corners of the hips. We'll keep the rest of the body quite upright, just focusing on that rotation in the hips. But can you feel that it is connecting with your feet? So the four corners of the feet are getting a gentle massage as you go round in your little square. And we want to feel for the edges of the feet, the connection from the hip to the edges of the feet, while keeping the feet absolutely flat and planted. This gives us the best connection, the best size of movement, that the size and shape of the feet are dictating the size of the movement within the hips. Good, so let's change direction. And this is a lovely wee exercise that can be done lots and lots and lots. So we're talking about 500 rotations in each direction as a nice healthy number to be getting on with. Of course, you build it up. You don't just go straight to 500, but doing 30 of these exercises every day, at least once a day, is very useful for just generally resetting the system, making sure muscles are nice and relaxed and working as a team. Loosening the back, it's doing lots of lovely things. Strengthening the core, you name it. Circulating the chi. Good. All right, back to center now. So we're going to do a little bit of work on the knees today. And in America, at least in the past, there was a phrase coined that was Tai Chi knee, similar to tennis elbow, suggesting that Tai Chi somehow damaged your knees. And it's incorrect, actually. If you do Tai Chi well, it should do nothing but strengthen and help your entire body, including your knees. However, certain little mistakes, if they are repeated again and again, can cause injury, just like in any other sport or any other practice. So let's see if we can use our knees correctly. So first of all, actually, if you bring your feet shoulder width and level, let's lengthen up. And I'd like you to think of moving from center, relax your center, and then think of that relaxation spreading out and releasing in the hips, and then melting down through the thighs, softening the knees all the way down to the feet. And now to release out of it, we're going to just let everything release back into standard standing position. And we do that again. So we release, soften the knees, keeping the top of the head lengthening up, soften the hips, soften down through the legs, down through the knees, down the lower legs, ankles and feet, and let everything decompress and lengthen out. And again, please release, belly, hips, knees, lower legs, ankles and feet, and let everything just naturally expand both upwards and downwards and relax. So that's the first exercise I'd like you to play with if you have sore knees. Rather than doing this thing that often we do, if somebody says bend your knees, we bend the knees. This adds tension in the legs and the knees and can niggle if there is a problem. But even if there isn't a problem, it's more tense, it's not as comfortable. So we want to think of melting down rather than bending. You can see it's a very different look. Melt and release and bend and straight. So it's much more mechanical if it's bending and straighting. We want it to be soft and chewy, like melting caramel. Good, okay, so now as a knee exercise, we're going to take the hands to the knees or just above the knees and do a very soft and melty little what's that word, a symmetrical circle. So we're just very, very softly, very, very gently rotating. Now actually it's not the knee joint that's rotating, we're working on the hips and the ankles doing this, but it is also affecting the knees. Let's go inwards. Soft and gentle, breathe. Good, now bring the feet together, and again, soft and gentle, but now we're going in the same direction. You can actually warm your kneecaps with your hands if it's comfortable to do so, and change direction, nice and soft. Good. Now it's okay if you get crunches and cracks, that's not a concern. Let's stretch up and open our stance. It is a concern if it hurts, but things that aren't particularly happy do tend to be crunchy when you use them. But we're just warming the joints, we're warming the fluid as well as warming the muscles around them. So let's take hold of the hands and we're going to sit back as we do a half squat. So we're going to sit back and down and come up. Do you see that my knees are not going beyond my toes, or at least not far beyond the toes? So we want to really sit the body back like you're being offered a chair. Good. And one more time. Good. And release, relax out of the position. So we want to avoid the knees going beyond the toes. Do you see what I mean? My body's upright, but my knees have gone beyond the toes. So that can put pressure on the knees. So rather we need to sit back as the knees go forwards. And there you can see yin and yang. Good. Okay. So let's turn out one foot and take a step forwards with the toes pointing forwards. The hips nice and square. We're going to go forwards and back and breathe. Good. Now again, we don't want the knee to go beyond the toe. And there's lots of things that could go wrong that could cause issues with the knees. One of them is that you're off. Do you see there? I'm exaggerating, but the knee actually caving inwards. That's going to put pressure on the knee. Also bowing outwards. And you can see that has an effect on the foot as well. So we want the knee to be tracking in line with the front toe. Good. Breathe and relax. Good. So we don't want the knee to go too far forwards. We don't want the knee to roll in or out. Good. And let's swap over. So these are all things that could, in time, cause issues if they're not addressed. But done correctly, this will strengthen your legs, strengthen your knees. Very good. And rest. Take a breath. Good. 3 times. Deep breath in. And out. One more time. Good. And just roll those shoulders, please. Good. So standing practice can also be very useful for strengthening and supporting any injury. It helps to the body to heal. However, again, even in standing practice, even without moving, if our posture and alignment is off, it can actually cause more issues than it helps. I found actually for about a year, I was getting sore knees after standing. When I went to sit down or to walk downstairs, my knees were kind of biting me and were really quite sore. And I realised that couldn't be right, that there was something going on with my standing practice. And actually, I was one of at least 3 in the room in our last masterclass with Master Chen. He actually in our stand, he actually took our legs and gently rolled them in. That was the feeling of rolling in. Because what was happening was, as we were standing and our energy was blossoming, it was doing its job, it was actually blowing our structure out. Now I've exaggerated that, it wasn't that much. It wasn't, to me, it wasn't visible, I didn't feel it. Of course, you never would deliberately practice a mistake, but there were several of us that had this blossoming energy and it was blowing our knees out of alignment. And so the master was taking our legs and very gently rolling them back into alignment so that the knees were sitting above the feet rather than pushing on the outside of the feet and therefore pushing on the outside of the knee. So we want to be very clear with ourselves that our weight is evenly distributed across the four corners of our feet. And when we use a mirror, we see that the knees are above the feet. Remember, our body is not two pillars going straight down. Our legs are actually in an A shape. So the knees should actually be a little bit closer. They won't just go directly down, they'll be like so. So the knees want to be in line with the feet so that the weight is going directly down through the four corners of the knees into the four corners of the feet. So as you do standing practice, we want to relax the front, relax the back so that your energy is coming in harmony to the base of the body and then spreading down through the four corners of the legs, through the four corners of the knees and into the four corners of the feet. And when I started practice standing in this way, having had that correction so that I wasn't, do you see the difference? There's blown out and there is more correct for me now. The knee issue went away, straight away. After doing a stand, I could sit down, I could go downstairs, I could do anything, and there was no knee issue whatsoever. So standing is a great help, but it can also be an issue. If you are doing it wrong, we say level of deviation. If the level of deviation is quite high, it can actually cause issues. So we have to be very careful. If in doubt, do short stands, but make sure you're, to the best of your ability, doing a 4-point coverage on each foot and feel and release through the entire body, the entire legs. You're not holding tension in any area. Keep breathing and letting go. And that will aid recovery. Good, so let's release and relax down. So, a quick class on knee safety and recovery. Let's now go into our open door 5 as the beginning of 7 stars in rotations Qigong. So we float up, please, through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back, and we release and relax, calming down. Listening behind. Find all 10 fingers, gently lengthen them down. Ready, start. Pause for a moment, checking posture, top of head floating up, releasing, relaxing down through your body. And movement 2. Let's change direction. Turn palms, draw in, float up. And again, breathe. Feel the energy flowing around the hoop of your arms. Change direction. And relax to center, checking posture. Ready, movement 3. Each time we check posture, we relax to center, listening to the body, noticing how it feels. If there's tension, where is it? How does it feel? And as you breathe, can you let go through it? Good, and again please, remember you don't have to bend your knees deeply. We want to keep the knees in line with the toe tips. So that may mean sitting back just a little bit and describing the line around the feet rather than going all the way. That's absolutely fine. But I'd rather you didn't bend your body forwards. It's not a forwards bend, it's a squat. So let's check posture again. Relaxing down into your belly. And so you should be able to continuously look at the screen as you do this exercise. We point to the eyebrow corners, down the face and neck and open, guiding the energy down through the body. Stay upright, sit back and around. Yes, very good. Up the back of the legs. It feels different, huh? And around and cover center. Good. So it's not a question of getting down no matter what. You don't have to go down deep at all, but we do want to keep our structure. Relax to center and breathe. Listening to the body, notice how it feels. And let go. All right, I'm going to do the next exercise with you, the same as you. So we're going to do our little release and scoop. A centering move. Before we do our 4 corners. Good, so we're going to flip our toes to the corner and we're going to roll the ball forwards and back. You see that? Yeah. If I turn a little bit more, there we go. So feel the lower spine and roll up to the thoracic vertebrae, the chest. and then up to the neck and head. Good, we're going to step to the side, flip the toes, and turn palms along the line of the arm. For tiger, relax, down. Into phoenix, right hand under, expand and step. Relax, and fill your back. Good, release, and step. Fill your back, up and over, up and over, flip the toes and turn. Looking over your shoulder, palms press away from your body, but keep the arms in a curve. Release, lasso, and flip the toes. Palms facing around, or pointing around your body, palms facing away, press away. Good, and release, return to center for the turtle, cross the hands at the wrists, sit back and down, arms forwards and up, hands level with the feet, fill the back, lengthen through the top of the head, chin down and back, gently stretch. And release, and we move on to movement 5, the elements. So we're standing on the right, we step left, right foot through, roll back, float up, square up, step, left foot through. We block and step back, pierce. Block and step back, fixing the front toe as you pierce. Next we have the wood element, half step, choo-choo train, stretch, right hand forwards, left back. Again, step, hand and foot together, half step and stretch. Release, turn. We step to the right, block, left hand in front of heart and feed it forwards, half step. Relax down, step left, block, in front of the heart, half step, again. This is your fire element, there's a little rise, and turn to the front for the earth element. Breathe and calm. Good, let's bring the left side in. For movement 6 harmonies. 2, 3, and 4. Ready? We're going to swing under, step the back foot through, up and over, open left. Back the way you came, up, step the front foot back, swing under, throwing the arms up as you turn, step through, open right. Keep turning in the same direction and step for your martial flowers. So we can step forwards, coming across the leg and across the leg. We can step back, across the front leg, step back, turn to the other side, across, across, step back, step back. Good, return to center, take a deep breath. Relaxing down. Good, in preparation for 7 stars in rotations. Lengthening up through the top of the head. Release, relax down through the body. Calming down. Ready? We're going to scoop. And let's take our right hand under, left hand over. Turn the ball and push out your left heel. Sweep the left hand towards the center of the circle and release. Check posture. 8 steps, ready, off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn in and release. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Finish. Take a breath. We can rest level with the waistline, guiding the chi back to center, and point to the floor for a little heel tap. Good stuff, well done, and ease from your stance. Lovely. So that is our 7 stars in rotations Qi Gong. I'm going to give you a moment if you want to take a little drink, have a rest, and see how you feel. And then we'll go on to our Immortals form today. We're going straight into Immortals, and then we'll finish with the Phoenix. So cheers. Today I am drinking honey, no lemon. Honey, ginger, and cinnamon. It's very nice. Left out the lemon today. Oh, there's cayenne pepper in there as well for a bit of a kick. Good, all right. So let's have a look now at the Immortals form. Are there any questions about what we just did? No? Good, okay. So let's have a look at the Immortals form. Now, we started with the concept of knee safety and looking after our knees. And whenever we have spins and turns, those moments can highlight any issues in the body, especially if there is resistance, if there's a grip on the floor. So, we want a bit of grip. We don't want to be slipping all over the place, but there can be too much grip. In fact, once or twice I have worn shoes that had so much grip that when I went to spin, they didn't move at all, but my body did. And my shoes just went flying off. They just kind of corkscrewed themselves off, which in the grand scheme of things would have been better than my bones breaking. But it is important that we look after ourselves when we're doing turns. So again, all things being equal, if we're doing our Tai Chi correctly, there should be no issue with the knees. But sometimes the surfaces that we're working on, we need to adapt what we're doing. So the way to protect the knees, if you are doing a spin, is not to clamp down on them and thinking, I must protect my knee. Because what you're doing there, you're adding huge amounts of tension into the joint and into the area, which then actually focuses the movement into that joint. So instead, what we want to do is keep our structure and move from center. So if you're keeping a structure and you're moving from center, there is no more strain or torsion going through the particular joint. So it's important to stay loose and relaxed, but just maintain your structure. Think of it like a jelly, that you have poured your jelly into the mold, you've left it for ages, you've taken it out, and then you can wibble wobble it about and it will keep returning to its structure. Even though it's loose and relaxed, it has this kind of flexible but obvious structure, and we want that kind of feeling in our bodies. So we don't want to be tense or tight or robotic in any way. We just want to find our structure and then move as a unit, and you will find that it's no problem. If you find that your foot sticks to the ground, if there is too much friction, if it's too grippy a surface, or your shoes are gripping the surface too much, and if you go to turn and it's not happening, Please don't force it. Then, if that's the case, you can actually just lift your foot and place it into position. So there's never any need for fear, but if you do feel that the fear is coming, you can leave the move out or adapt it as necessary. Please don't tense for impact, so to speak, because that can be the very thing that brings on injury. Okay, so let us have a look at the Immortals form. Ready? We lengthen up and relax down. Find all 10 fingers. And let's scoop. Left hand under. Pinch and step to the left. Turn the toes, pinch left, open right. Pinch right, open left. Relax to center. Very good. And ease from your stance, relax. Good stuff. Shall we do it again? Yeah. What about the speed? Do you want to slow it down? Ish, maybe, yeah. Yes? No? No, okay. How are the knees? Okay? One's good, one not. All right. Yeah, let's do it again. When it comes to the turns, you can step it round or you can just leave out the turns altogether. If you know that there is a move that particularly hurts, can you clock it? Let me know and we'll work with it. We'll see if there's something that we can do. Sometimes once there's an actual injury, of course, you could be doing everything right and still it'll hurt, but there are certainly ways of reducing what we call deviation. So the idea is, in an ideal world, if you're deviation free, if you're in alignment and everything is correct, pain should at least not get any worse, but it should actually help. The form should help. But if there's something that every time you do a particular move, you know, oh, it's not good, leave it out, just float, just wait and talk to me and we'll see if we can deconstruct it, we'll see if we can make it easier while still doing the move, and if not, then an alternative. Okay, one more time please. Ready? Check posture. Lengthening the fingers down, calming down. And start. Pinch and step. Pinch left, turn toes. Pinch right, feed it back. I'll come back a little bit. sit back. Good. Okay, so is there any specific place where the knees are just not happy? Let me know. No? Okay. All right, good. Okay. All right, you're away, Tony. Thank you. All the best. Okay, Eric, is there any specific place where the knees are pinching you or just giving you grief? Remember, you have to, unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yes, there is this turn like that.
Yeah, just at the end.
Complete turn, so I've avoided doing it the last couple of times we've been through.
Yeah, I think that's very wise. I think that sometimes when we are training, there are moments where there may be just too much torsion on the body if you are still in the process of recovering from injury. So that is a full turn. Now, depending on the surface of your floor, actually it doesn't need a lot of oomph to get you round. In fact, it needs a lot less than most people give it. I've noticed that in various modes of exercise. You know, when there's a spin or a turn, people tend to think, oh gosh, I really have to welly it, I have to get all the way round. So they put a lot of effort into creating that spin. But actually it doesn't require all that much. But even then, even if it's done perfectly well, again, we have to take into account the surface of the floor, the grip of your shoes, and just how tender the injury is. So if you know that there is a movement that just causes that tension, and yes, I can imagine that a full spin, it is nearly a full 360-degree turn. That's going to be putting a little bit of pressure on the body, and also it's as I say, once we have it in our head that a movement is dangerous for our injury or an issue for the injury, the natural and very understandable instinct is that everything tenses, that it tries to protect the area. And actually that action of tensing that we might not even be aware of on a conscious level, that can cause issues. So what I would say is do exactly as you have been doing, just leave out the turn altogether until such times as you feel that your knee is well on the mend and it's able to just function, that you don't feel that you're, it's this turn again. Yeah, good, okay. So let's have a look at that turn then. So we've done our overseeing territory, we step down, we step diagonally back, and actually the turn lands you so it's a full 360. I've left my chair there, never mind. It's a full 360, so what you can do is just literally go through the motions of preparation. So we prepare and we take the weight onto it and sit back down again. So you're doing everything apart from the turn, including shifting the weight. So let's do that together. So we've done our standing on one leg, step down, step diagonally back, and sitting back, nice and comfortable. We gather, we circle the arms, feet into the right, lift, and land back. So that means that when you are ready, you'll be able to go through the motions and just add the turn. You've got the arms, you've got the weight transference, you've got the beginning and the end position, and so the rest, it's just the turn itself. So I think you're very wise just to leave it out. Not all Tai Chi movements are appropriate at all times. Just like anything, you know, if you go to the gym, you know, and if you have an arm injury, maybe not the best idea to start doing free weights with that arm the way you may have done before. You might be able to do lighter weights or something, but we have to pick our exercises to suit our needs. So that's absolutely fine. Okay, so why don't we finish with a little bit of Phoenix? I think we've time to just do it maybe on one side and then a little warm down. So let's jump into the Phoenix form. Ready? Let's lengthen up and relax down. Find all 10 fingers and just stay there for a moment. Keep relaxing. I'm just going to pop you on mute. Okay. Ready? Yeah. And knees remain pointing in line with the toes at all times. So above but not past the tip of the toe. Sit back and down. Good. Well done. So Phoenix, a lot more gentle, less torsion, less spinning. Hopefully, did that feel a bit better? Yeah, great. Okay. So yeah, the Immortals is a full-on form with lots of turning, lots of spinning. Phoenix, much more contained, and I think it's a very good form for helping recover. So yeah, I would keep at it, that you do whatever form you're doing. If you know after maybe a couple of times, each time you, oh, that's not comfortable, leave those movements out. You can still, as we did, sort of mark them through so that you can put the turn back in. But I think the Phoenix is a particularly useful exercise if we're just trying to build up strength and confidence again. Good, so let's just do a little warm down, please. Little turn of the center. And again, even this exercise done incorrectly can cause knee issues. So I know this because it caused a knee issue for me, because I was letting my knee twist ever so slightly each time I turned. So think of the hips and the legs as steady. They're not moving. You're turning inside your hips in this movement. So you will feel a little twisting action going down through the structures of the legs, but the structures themselves are not shifting. Good. And let's release the toes to pat the thighs. The knees themselves, give them a pat. I know it may be counterintuitive, but if something hurts by giving it a little pat, it stimulates blood flow and energy flow to and from the area, aiding healing. Down the legs to ankles and feet, and up the legs again. Good, and over the shoulders. And back to center. Good, lovely, shaking out. A little heel tap. Let's lift the arms and add the wee floppy wrist movement. Breathe. If the heel tap in itself is sore, you can leave it out and just bounce the body and relax down, let the arms swing. Lovely. Just allow the body to return in its own time to stillness and check posture. Relax to center. Feeling any sensations in your body. Good, let's guide that energy back into the center, gently hugging your elbows in. Feeling the touch, the warmth of your hands, the gentle pressure, guiding your energy back to center. And feel your energy is stronger. Beautiful, well done. Relax gently down and let's salute. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today. And if you weren't able to join live, thank you for watching the video all the way through to the end and practicing at home. I'm going to just ask you how you are before I stop the recording, because Zoom has been glitching. You all right, Eric? Yeah. We'll have to unmute you again. Okay, well, we'll leave it there for today, and I wish you a very lovely weekend. Epsom salts in the bath is very soothing and relaxing for any wee aches and pains, as is arnica ointment. Is fantastic if you rub it in regularly, if you have an ongoing niggle. So, feeling okay?
Yes, yeah.
That's great. Okay, so we'll leave it for today. So thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.
Okay.
Bye for now. Thank you. Take care.